turning the DSM against itself, diagnosing the disorders of Western psychology. This is printed in Mad in America, Science, Psychiatry, and Social Justice. madinamerica.com, written by Justin Carter, February 7th, 2025. This new paper satirically reworks psychiatric nosology, diagnosing colonial behaviors, greed, amnesia, and entitlement as the true psychological disorders. What if the DSM diagnosed the cultural pathologies of capitalism and colonialism rather than the individuals affected by them? A forthcoming article in American Psychologist, the flagship journal of the American Psychological Association, or APA, does just that, turning what scholars call psychiatry's diagnostic Bible against itself. Rather than categorizing distress within individuals, scholars Kaori Wada and Carly D. Fellner use the DSM's own language to diagnose the systemic disorder of power, reframing greed as an addiction, land accumulation as pathological hoarding, and historical amnesia as a dissociative disorder. Drawing on Francis Fanon's concept of social diagnostics, Wada and Fellner situate psychiatric diagnosis as a cultural product of coloniality, perpetuating what they call psychocolonization, the psychological subjugation of indigenous people through Western mental health frameworks. The DSM and pathologizing discourses are cultural products born out of coloniality, which continue to serve as tools for the subjugation of Lenape indigenous people. By using the very language of the DSM, we diagnose the colonial logics and ideologies inherent in these categories. Right, Wada and Fellner. This article serves as both a critique of psychiatry's complicity in colonialism and a radical reimagination of what healing and diagnosis could look like from an indigenous relational framework. Symptoms are our relation's way of calling us to needed medicines, wisdoms, and collective wellness, they add. If psychiatric diagnosis is, as Wada and Fellner argue, a colonial artifact, then mental health care itself may be a tool of social control rather than healing. This has profound implications not just for indigenous communities, but for anyone whose suffering has been medicalized rather than understood in historical and political context.